Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's webinar on how to make impactful scholarship applications presented by Rael Kromowitz from the Illinois Park and Recreation Foundation. I'll turn it over now to Ray and he can tell you a little bit more about himself and the foundation.
Hey guys, as introduced, my name is Rael Kromowitz. I have been a member of IPRA for 39 years and I'm currently a board member for the Illinois Park and Recreation Foundation. This webinar, Making an Impactful Scholarship Application, is to assist you in making an Illinois Park and Recreation Foundation scholarship application for funds to continue your professional education. First, let me tell you a little bit about the foundation. It's committed to invest in the continuing education and development of students and young professionals within the Illinois Park and Recreation industry. Our primary functions are to raise funds and award scholarships. The foundation administers 4 scholarship programs: student scholarships, professional scholarships, the Rod Aiken Memorial Scholarship, and the Commonality and Diversity Scholarship. While student scholarships are administered and funded by the foundation, they are awarded by each college or university, and they're for the purpose of attending the Illinois Park and Recreation State Conference. Professional scholarships are awarded by the foundation to attend any IPRA, NRPA, or continuing education program, including college coursework. The Rod Aiken Memorial Scholarship is awarded to a young professional with 8 years or less in the field, and that is to attend the IPRA Leadership Academy. And the Commonality and Diversity Scholarship is awarded by the foundation to attend IPRA's Professional Development School. Scholarships are not awarded for any association dues or certification exams. For details on eligibility, the application, and the deadlines, please visit the Illinois Park and Recreation Association's website at www.ilipra.org. Again, the details can be found on the IPRA website. This presentation is for the specific purpose of making an impactful, distinguishing application. The foundation receives its funding from 3 primary sources: a silent auction and raffle held annually at the Illinois Park and Recreation State Conference, tax-deductible donations from current and former IPRA members, vendors, and friends, and gifting a portion of IPRA's annual operating surplus if there is one. Funds raised from donations, the auction, and the raffle are distributed each year as follows: 40% of the proceeds to student scholarships, 40% to professional scholarships, 10% to a statewide member educational opportunity, and 10% is reserved for disaster relief. $10,000 to $12,000 was awarded in scholarships in each of the last couple of years. Again, the purpose of this webinar is to assist you in making an impactful application. So some of the things you should know before you begin. The scholarships are strictly merit-based. Politics, friendships, and who you know have no place in awarding the scholarships. That makes the content of your application the all-important factor. Don't lie or don't stretch the truth, because integrity matters. The application is a competitive process with the demand for scholarships exceeding the funding available. So it's important you follow these simple tips. First, you must provide all the information sought on the application, including a letter of support from your supervisor. Incomplete applications will not be considered. Second, be succinct yet distinctive. Being a competitive process, you need to distinguish yourself and your application from others. Write persuasively with sufficient detail and facts to support your case. Like being in a job interview, tell us what separates you from the others. Third, submit your application on time. It must arrive in the IPRA office by the deadline or it will not be considered. Again, the deadlines can be found on the IPRA website. As I mentioned, you need to distinguish yourself and your application from the others. Detail is critical, but don't write a novel. Be crisp and to the point. So what makes a good application? Well, 3 things. 1, it conveys your unique situation. 2, it explains how the knowledge received from the training will bring immediate benefit to you and or your agency. And 3, it states clear and measurable benefits or outcomes. Let's talk about each of these in a little bit more detail. Explain your unique need or situation. Think of it this way. What you're asking for is for another party to pay your professional development opportunity. Why should they? Explain your need or situation convincingly to them. To say our agency has a limited budget or limited training dollars is not unique. Every agency, regardless of size or affluence, has a limited budget. To say the educational program will give you added knowledge so that you can do a better job, well, that's not unique. Every applicant should be able to say that. You must be able to differentiate your unique situation. Explain how the knowledge received from the training will bring immediate benefit to you and your agency. If it's simply to add another tool of knowledge to your tool belt, or build your resume, or if your motive is to get yourself promoted, that's okay, but it's not going to add much weight to your application. Those motives are more about you and not about how you'll benefit the profession. You know, a lot of knowledge goes unused. The scholarship committee is most interested in the education of a person who will put the knowledge to work right away. State clear and measurable benefits or outcomes you expect to gain from attending the professional development opportunity. In other words, how will you be changed? One way to approach this prerequisite is to envision yourself 6 months from now asking yourself, what am I doing differently now because of my attendance at that educational program or conference? Now, to give you a better understanding of good versus not so good applications, I'm going to show you some concrete examples of each. Our agency has a limited budget, you say. Well, every agency, regardless of size or wealth, has a limited budget. Avoid statements like, if I'm awarded a scholarship, I'll be able to stretch training dollars and attend another training or conference later in the year. Everyone can make those assertions. That type of statement does nothing to distinguish your need or explain your benefit of attending. Being a member of IPRA doesn't help or hurt your application, so there's no need to overemphasize whether you're a member or not. There's no politics in awarding of these scholarships. It doesn't matter who you know, and it doesn't matter if you've received one in the past. What matters is how you will use the knowledge and the skills gained to become a better professional. Scholarship awards are judged strictly on the merit of the application and your ability to answer the questions in a measurable, meaningful way. Finally, do not give generic responses where specifics are sought. If you say you're going to get an increased awareness or become more familiar with trends or network more or do a better job, well, those are generic replies and poor replies to the questions what you specifically hope to gain. The scholarship committee looks for forethought, purpose, and a well-written application. If your application reads like it took 15 minutes to complete, it probably did, and it isn't worth funding. You can't simply sit down and start writing. You must have a need, a purpose, and a desired outcome in mind. Once that is well thought out, write a convincing application. You'll need to convince the judging panel that your need and purpose is worth financing, and financing over other needy and worthy applicants. A well-written application states how you will use the knowledge received. It states what the educational opportunity will do for you immediately and in the future. It explains how specific topics of the educational program relate to your current position or career path. It explains how the training will ultimately benefit the consumer, the community, or the profession. It's unselfish. It has an impact on the bigger picture. And it states how the Illinois Park and Recreation profession might benefit from your advanced learning. In summation, the Illinois Park and Recreation Foundation Scholarship Program invests in tomorrow's leaders. It gives individuals an opportunity to learn, and it encourages career paths to develop the future leaders in the Illinois Park and Recreation industry. 4 scholarship programs are offered by the foundation: Students, Professional, Rod Aiken Memorial, and Commonality in Diversity. The best way to secure a scholarship is to follow these principles. Convey your unique need or situation. Explain how the education will benefit you and your agency now. State clear and measurable benefits or outcomes. And while the average award is approximately $250, there is no limit. However, you must explain the rationale for the amount you request. Scholarships are provided on a reimbursable basis. Should you be awarded a scholarship, you register for the program, class, or conference, attend, and then submit a receipt to IPRA along with a testimonial. Individuals that receive a scholarship are required to provide the foundation with feedback on the training in the form of a testimonial. The testimonial must be a minimum of 250 words, and all or a portion of the testimonial may be posted on the IPRA website. After the requirements are met, a reimbursement check will be mailed to you. I hope this short seminar, Making an Impactful Scholarship Application, has been helpful. And on behalf of the Illinois Park and Recreation Foundation, I encourage you to apply for a scholarship when considering your next training opportunity.
Thanks, Ray. This webinar will be available on our website for reference, and it is accessible anytime. This concludes our webinar. Thanks for joining us.